The Greenwood is an ancient forest which has remained virtually undisturbed for hundreds, if not thousands, of years. The forest folk live in harmony with nature. They never take more than they can use and go to great lengths to preserve the beauty of their environment. During the last few years, however, all has changed, and now the forest is under threat of total destruction. A mighty industrial organisation, which goes by the name of Hawk Enterprises, has purchased, or acquired by other means, almost all of the Greenwood. Trees have been felled, vast areas cleared, mines and quarries dug, and industrial complexes built. Many of the forest folk have sold up and moved away. For the creatures of the forest, their sanctuary becomes ever smaller, year by year. Anyone who opposes the activities of Hawk Enterprises receives a visit from Hawk's security team, known by everyone as the Clunkers. Their opposition tends to be short-lived, for the Clunkers are very persuasive. Bag of gold or twisted arm, they care not which method they employ. Crinkle lives in Rymer's Hatch, near the edge of what remains of the Greenwood. As the army of destruction marches ever closer, she becomes increasingly concerned. She decides that she will do all she can to put a halt to the wholesale annihilation of one of the most beautiful places in the land. Crinkle is making her weekly visit to her grandfather, who lives in Rymer's Hatch on the edge of the green. Crinkle sees that Gramps is asleep, as usual. She wonders whether to leave or to wake him up.
Gramps, wake up, it's me.
Oh, hello, Crinkle. I was having a little snooze. What have you been up to? Anything exciting?
No, but I've seen something that worries me. The Clunkers are putting up lots more of those private keep-out signs.
I don't think there's much that can be done about it, Crinkle. Hawk Enterprises own most of the Greenwood now, and they can do what they like.
But Gramps, it's not right what they're doing. They cut down all the trees, make a mess, and leave the animals with nowhere to live.
I know. If I was 50 years younger, I might take up cudgels against them. But with my poor old legs, I can't do much.
But I could, if I knew what to do.
Now, don't you go doing anything silly. The only way you can do anything is by getting someone else involved.
How can I do that? Who should I talk to?
The town council at Forest View is probably in Orc's pocket. Most of the forest people have left. I really don't know who could help.
There must be someone besides us who doesn't want to see all of the Greenwood destroyed. There must be.
There is someone. Wibble. He has powers that no one else has. He sees what we can't see, hears what we can't hear, and knows what we can't know.
Where would I find Wibble?
Now there's a question. Only Wibble knows where Wibble is. But if he knows you need him, he will let you find him.
Where do I start? Where do I go?
You need a map. I bet you've never seen one. Since Orc came here, all maps have mysteriously disappeared. But I have one.
I've heard about maps, but never seen one. Do you really have a map?
It's hidden in my old puzzle chest in the shed. I'm afraid you'll have to try to open the chest on your own. My silly legs aren't in the mood for working today. While you're looking in the shed, I'll have a little nap. Crinkle, watch out for dingly-dangly spoodles. At this time of year, there's usually an infestation of them in the old shed. Gramps was right. A family of dingly-dangly spoodles has taken up residence in the shed. These creatures have to be handled with care. Crinkle can't push past them as they exude a noxious, sticky, smelly fluid when they move sideways. A gentle nudge, however, usually suffices to make them move up or down. Crinkle will have to persuade them all to move up towards the roof. This won't be easy, though, as they have some strange habits. When it comes to dingly-dangly spoodle shifting, Crinkle is an ace. The question now is whether she is equally proficient at puzzle chest unlocking. Gramps' puzzle chest has 4 locks. Each lock has a bolt which can slide along a channel. The bolt pops out when it is in the right place. Click anywhere on a channel to move a bolt. The drawer opens, and Crinkle finds the map. She takes the map from the drawer and goes back to tell Gramps of her success, taking great care to avoid the dingly-dangly spoodles as she goes. The shutters keep out cold winds and the dawn chorus.
Gramps, I managed to find the map. Did you really make that puzzle chest yourself? It's an amazing contraption.
Not only did your one and only Super Gramps make the chest, but he drew the map as well. Come on in, let's have a look at it. Oh dear, the nibblers have attacked it. Never mind, there's not much missing. Green Crag, now there's a strange place. All sorts of tales of magic and mystery are connected with that place. You won't be travelling as far as the Blue Downs. The folk who live beyond the hills speak a language different from ours. Forest View is a strange town. The folk who live there think they are superior to us forest folk. This is where we are now. The forest was fenced once. A hatch was a gate in the fence. Rhymer was a legendary poet who is thought to have lived here. Warren Heights was one of my favourite spots. If you were lucky, you could find the odd starbright there. They would sometimes be dug up by burrowing animals. Worth quite a bit they were. So, you have the map. Now what are you going to do?
I'm going to look for Wibble. Thanks, Gramps, and before you say it, I promise I'll take care.
Well, I'm still going to say it anyway. Take care. Crinkle sets off to begin the biggest adventure of her life. A dilapidated iron gate marks the forest boundary. Perhaps this is the hatch from which the name Rhymer's Hatch was derived. Along this quiet, while some people regard these trees as... This is the edge of that part of the green. Crinkle sees some litter and picks it up. It looks as if there might be a coat. A row of trees has been left. The creatures who still live here can at least be... Crinkle is surprised that she has seen no one in this part of... There is a security lock on the door. Crinkle wonders if she can open it. The door opens and Crinkle enters the building. Crinkle finds herself in an office. She wonders if there is anything here that might come in useful. Crinkle picks up the long, heavy spike. The drawer is... There is a card in the drawer. There is a card in... Crinkle picks up the card and discovers... Crinkle doesn't need the code anymore. Luckily, Crinkle remembers the code. Crinkle has set off the alarm. She beats a hasty retreat. An area of beechwood has been cleared to create a training ground where puffers are trained to work the clunkers' airships. The two trunks of a gigantic tree provide a wonderful obstacle course for training. Bluebells do not ring, even when struck by metal spikes. This sparse patch of bluebell, when the flowers die down. Crinkle leans on the spike and wonders if she will be able to save the Greenwood. If Crinkle wants to get rid of the inside, Crinkle cannot reach anything through the gate. There is no sensible use for the spike here. Crinkle finds herself outside. Crinkle's athletic prowess is insufficient to allow her to use the spike to pole vault over the fence. A wood-burning power station has... Waving the spike about near power cables would be highly dangerous. The picturesque nature of Miller's Brook. Before Crinkle uses the spike on the water pipe valve, she ought to talk to the waterfall in Sparkling Brook. Before Crinkle uses the spike...